the split have moved into the old Xenon sector, which is quite interesting because apparently they now have the ability to jump over these Paranid border sectors here. So I took a look at the split fleets and found one, this Ocelot right here. Its destination is Scale Plate Green, which is the empty sector I left open for the Argons. So we have to prevent that and take that before they do. Because that would be a major threat to the Argons if they are now completely surrounded by Split. And even if that will cost me some Argon reputation, it has to be done. I'm still not getting missions for the Argon, maybe they are still too small, but we can now reliably do taxi jobs between these three sectors and earn fairly good reputation that way. So I can repair this. But I need to act quickly or this sector is lost. Now I should have a large transport which is currently on the way to my old home system where I still have a small factory, and I kept that ready to be able to instantly claim sectors if need be, and seems like that is such a case and we have to use it. I have sent all my other transport to the Xenon sector, and even 3 large transports weren't enough to grab all the goods. They are all en route back home with a full cargo load. That's quite interesting. And the Xenon destroyer has also left. Just doing some taxi runs in preparation for the reputation hit here. Yeah, the Xenon destroyer has left and is now invading this, at least he was invading this Paranid sector. Apparently he's either destroyed or relocated. Yeah, let's check the satellite network. Yeah, we don't have vision over him, so he has either been destroyed or he has joined the Xenon fleet in my old system that I lost to the split, which is also housing a Xenon jump beacon. And I still have this mission to destroy all Xenon stations. The Xenon hunt mission that hasn't been completed yet, even if the Xenon don't own any sectors anymore. So I believe I also have to take this jump beacon out, which could be a bit tricky because there was a massive swarm of Xenon. It was only smaller ships, but they were hundreds, at least from a quick view into that sector when an explorer entered here. And if the big Xenon Eye destroyer has joined them, then they will be even more powerful. So I'm preparing for a big attack into this sector here.
Successfully docked. Advanced Satellite Factory, Alpha.
But we are quite advanced in terms of fleet building. I have a couple more frigates ready. And the 2 shipyards are cranking out more ships. The secondary shipyard is now producing small fighters on a loop, which is a bit, yeah, it requires less resources, but drains the population very much. That is exactly the job that I want to have this shipyard do, because I'm out of perks for this sector and it doesn't have the insurance policy So a high population would be bad anyway and could potentially spawn a bad event. So I'm leaving that to small ship production for now, and the new main shipyard is busy with bigger ships. And we are slowly, not running out of resources, but we are draining the huge stockpile that we have for the most part of the game right now. And I'm running a bit low on quantum tubes, but I have already built more factories, so that should sort itself out. And yeah, I've also built up most of my sectors. Most of them have outposts now, and we should be able to try a second war against the split soon. But first I need to secure this sector.
Protein. Command accepted.
Now we just have to beat the split on the run to the sector here, and then we can claim it. And that would be the only sector left which has no owner. So everything else at that point is pretty much conquering. Yeah, the split battle group is still on its way. They are quite slow, so we should be able to beat them. And they beat me to it. There was a second battle group, which I didn't consider or didn't see. So now the split own this sector, and it's going to be, quite a problem. That we have to deal with somehow. But before going to war with the split, I would like to solve this Xenon problem and finish this quest. So we are focusing on that first. I also set up a supply ship for the artillery. He has just used this jump beacon to the next sector. And as you can see, he is carrying a bunch of missiles, and he's going to deliver that to the fleet while it is in the field, deployed in the field. And the supply is based on the missile resupply settings for each individual ship inside the fleet, which is quite neat, because the fleet supply ship will also order additional missiles for construction. So you don't even have to handle the missile production anymore. And what I'm doing right now is just producing these artillery missiles on a loop. And whenever the fleet supply ship, which is home base to this outpost, needs more missiles to supply the fleet, then it will just order them up. Like you can see up here, it ordered 212 artillery missiles, but since it doesn't have the resources, they won't get built. And whenever no production is going, then it will just continue building those Windstalker missiles, and any other missiles are just put as a higher priority and get built first. Right now I'm just I actually have enough resources to build those missiles, just a small bottleneck in the shipping capacity. I have to adjust that a bit, but then we should be fine. So the supply ship is home base to this outpost fortress right here, which has the missile production, and he is assigned through the fleet settings. Can set a supply ship, and it will then go on and visit the fleet and deliver the missiles. So he has just transferred a bunch of those light Rapier missiles into the bomber ship, which was the lead ship. This one here. Just gave him back his missiles to meet its resupply settings that I can set here in the weapons screen. And now he's just delivering the rest of the missiles he carries to the artillery ships, which are still lagging behind a bit. And it's going to take some time to supply these ships again. The artillery missiles are definitely quite expensive, but they are very useful because they can apply a lot of damage in a short amount of time, and you can do a lot with quite a few ships. And also these frigates are not very expensive. They are actually rather cheap, and you can use that to increase your firepower for various critical battles and engagements. So the supply ship has just arrived. And he should now, yeah, he has just delivered the Windstalker missiles, which are now in the and this missile frigate, which just went through the gate here. So that should make things much easier in terms of keeping the fleet stocked. And I will probably assign some escort ships and also a second supply ship for the main fleet.